Welcome to Trade Pro. In this video, I'm going to explain a simple 3 EMA trading strategy that shows very surprisingly good results in back testing. Of course, I'll test it 100 times in a row in this video and show you all the results of that test at the very end. But first, let's get into the strategy itself and talk about the rules. Now, before I do talk about it, I want to give a quick shout out to my affiliate, Capitalize.ai. Capitalize allows traders to create and automate their trading strategies just by typing them out in plain English. No coding knowledge required. You can simulate, backtest, and deploy strategies all from your phone and all for free. If you're interested, check it out with my link in the description down below. Thank you. All right, let's cover the indicators you'll need for this trading strategy. All you'll need are 3 exponential moving averages. One is a 200 period exponential moving average, one is a 50 period exponential moving average, and one is a 20 period exponential moving average. Now let's cover the rules to this strategy, starting with the rules to take a long position. Now, the first thing you need to see is that price is over the 200 period exponential moving average, or the white line here. You also need to see that the blue line, or 20 period EMA, is over the 50, or the yellow line here. And what you're going to look for the entry signal is the price pulling back into the 20 period exponential moving average. That's going to be your entry signal as long as the other criteria is met. The profit target will be placed at the high before the pullback, so highest point before the pullback into the 20, and the stop loss is going to be placed just based on a strict 1 to 1.5 risk to reward ratio. So wherever this becomes a 1 to 1.5 risk to reward ratio, that's where the stop goes. Profit target always add swing high. So that's what I'm going to be testing. We can see it happen over here again. So we have price over the 200, we have blue over yellow, 20 over 50, and then we see the pullback into the 20 here. That's going to be the entry signal, and then targeting the high before the pullback to the 20 for the profit target using a 1 to 1.5 risk to reward ratio. That's how you get the stop loss placement here. All right, so now let's cover some short entries, and then I'll get into the 100 tests. Now, for a short entry, price needs to be under the 200 period exponential moving average, or white line. We also need to see the blue under the yellow, so 20 EMA under the 50 EMA, and then we'll be looking for price to pull back into the 20. All right, and that's where we're going to be looking for that short position, where we're going to be doing the same thing as we did with that long position, where we're targeting this time the low before the pullback instead of the high before the pullback, and also using a 1 to 1.5 risk to reward ratio. This one would be hit right here. So then you'd be looking for this next entry, the next touch of that EMA, and doing the same thing, the new low, targeting that, and then using the 1 to 1.5 risk to reward ratio, where we can see the profit target is hit right over here. And then once again, we get the pullback into the 20, so we can take another entry targeting the new low before the pullback, and with the 1 to 1.5 risk to reward ratio, seeing it hit right here. So those are some short entries, very simple strategy, essentially trend following, pullbacks into the 20, so you're getting in at a good average price instead of when price is extended. So joining into that trend, expecting the trend to continue, or at least go down again to the level that it has already been at in that downtrend. All right, so let's now get into the 100 tests and see how this thing performs over a series of 100 trades. I'm on euro against the US dollar, 1 hour time frame. So let's see how it does. The results are in after the 100 back-tested trades. This was tested on euro against the US dollar on a 1-hour time frame using a 1 to 1.5 risk to reward ratio, and it took 4 months of price data for those 100 trades to be found. So relatively on the low end for an hourly time frame test, 4 months. It's kind of on the mid to lower range. So out of the 100 back-tested trades, I found 55 winning trades and 45 losing trades. So 55% win rate, quite good for a 1 to 1.5 risk to reward ratio. The most wins in a row was 6, and the most lost in a row was 4. The gain on the account, if risking 1% of equity per trade, 37.5%. So this one is doing quite well, and I actually really like this style of strategy. It really just vibes with me well. Pullbacks with the trend direction, getting in at a discount, expecting the trend is going to continue. This is my favorite style of trading. So big fan of this strategy, which is why I made this video. Just wanted to get that idea out there. If you're trying to find a strategy that is trend following and something that's simple you can practice with, definitely something to look into here. Obviously you can mess around with the risk to reward ratio, moving the stop loss to break even, trailing your stop, adding to positions. You can do all those different things, but just this very simple form of the strategy is a good concept that you can kind of run with and improve upon. So definitely a fan of this style of strategy. Now let's go on over to the strategy ranking spreadsheet, and we'll kind of see how this fares against other strategies that I've tested with a 1 to 1.5 risk to reward ratio. I think this one falls quite highly on the strategy ranking spreadsheet compared to others that were similar tests. All right, here it is on the strategy ranking spreadsheet, falling at spot number 28 out of now 83 strategies tested on the channel so far. So it's in that mid to upper tier range, and we can compare it to other strategies where I also used a 1 to 1.5 risk to reward ratio. There are only 2 that actually performed better in the test than this one using that same risk to reward ratio, and that one of them is up here way at the top, the Hoffman system with a 62% win rate using that same 1 to 1.5 risk to reward ratio. So this one did really well. And then we have another one right here, the triple super trend trading strategy, 56% win rate. So it's essentially the exact same results, but this one took 9 months to get the 100 trade signals, and the one I've done in this video only 4 months. So this one probably looking more attractive to the majority of people based on that. And then other than those 2 above it, most of the other 1 to 1.5 risk to reward ratio tests are much lower on the strategy ranking spreadsheet. So this one definitely did quite well for a 1 to 1.5 risk to reward ratio. And that's going to pretty much wrap things up for this video. I do want to reiterate that with any of these videos and any of these strategies, I'm just basically telling you a basic trading concept, and that doesn't mean that this is the exact way that it should be traded. So I definitely recommend trying out different risk to reward ratios, different methods of placing the stop loss, take profit target, moving the stop loss to break even, maybe even doing a 2-stage entry or something along those lines. But this is just a basic strategy concept that can be worked with. So definitely recommend playing around with it, doing your own testing it a lot more on multiple pairs, and seeing how it performs. So don't take this as the only way you should be trading this strategy is how I tested it in this video, as it's just not, it's going to be the best way to do it. So, and the same thing goes with every single strategy I've tested on the channel. I always recommend that you test it on your own, test it with different parameters to see how you can improve it. So that's going to wrap things up here. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're still watching, don't forget to like the video. Appreciate that. And have a great day. Thank you.